So I've just driven 150 miles to the north rim of the Grand Canyon from Panguitch, Utah. Even though it was overcast, it didn't look that bad. But about 10 miles away from the actual rim of the canyon, it started snowing and sleeting. I ended up trying to take a few pictures here and there. I got some decent pictures at the north rim just before the snow really came in, and but it came in too heavy for me to take decent pictures. And with the sleet, my lens was getting wet too, so it was kind of a bummer after going all that distance and with no real photo ops. So I took a little ride, checked out some side roads, and headed back. This picture here is not what you expect to see when you go to the Grand Canyon, but this is some fire damage south of Jacob Lake. Jacob Lake is about 45 miles north of the North Rim, and you have to go through it, even though you can come in from different directions. All the roads go through Jacob Lake and you go south. You go maybe 10 minutes through some heavy trees, and then you bust into this big fire burn that happened back in 2006. So it's a bad first impression and last impression when you're leaving. Here I'm heading back north, and I'll go through a last stand of a few minutes of heavy trees where it used to be all green and where you couldn't see across the hillsides. And but that's all changed now in the last few years. They had a big fire down by the North Rim back in 2000, so there's fire damage everywhere now when you go on the North Rim. And I say everywhere, it's not everywhere, but it's more areas than you expect. And the areas are big. It's big fires, but the Grand Canyon is a big park. And so there's still plenty of nice trees to hike through, including down by the North Rim. But this is natural, and it seems to have caught up with itself over the last few years. And this is heading north from Jacob Lake toward Fredonia and Kanab, Utah. It's a nice road where you get to look north and see the Vermilion Cliffs over to the east and some big plateaus heading north. Good way to finish the ride from the Grand Canyon. Unfortunately, it was an overcast day, and there's not a lot of motivation to jump out and take pictures where you just see a lot of clouds. And then finally, back at a campsite, Dutchie is chilling. She likes to go out in the road just to show she can do it, but this is in the evening where it's pretty calm, not a lot of traffic. But it's not unusual to see her in the middle of the road flopping around. And if she heard a vehicle coming, she'd get out of there. But yeah, I think it's just her way of taking some ownership. Be careful, Doug. Be careful. Be careful.